What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in this side of the map. In the red color, playing as Thor. His name is Grand Monster. Grand Monster is the man, the myth, the legend. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Poseidon. His name is Yoshii. Yoshii versus Poseidon, game number 4. We're in the competitive mega random tournament, $1,000 prize pool. This is the first round, ladies and gentlemen, and things are insane. Things are incredibly insane. That last game was the most insane thing I've ever seen, and possibly the most insane thing I'm ever going to see in this game. But maybe I'm going to get proven wrong here, as Yoshii and Grand Monster are playing yet another game with a potential Ragnarok ending that could finish like that. You never know. You never know. Alrighty, so up here we do find ourselves the canopic jar of Imseti. Is this going to be the crazy Ulfsark rush? Grab that relic, spam the Ulfsarks, could be fun. We've had a lot of this tile set in this series, but it is what it is, as that just happens to be the way the cookie crumbles in a big way, is you just get the tile sets you get given. So onwards and upwards, we've got ourselves a Poseidon versus Thor matchup. This is still one of my most favorite matchups to play, because it doesn't feel as broken as the Oden versus Poseidon matchup, where the Oden does feel like he has a fairly considerable edge over the Poseidon. But I don't think I need to talk much about strategy right now, because Yoshi's just out here saying, guys, what's happening? Do you like a house in your face? And this is the reason he put it there. 2 militia for Yoshii. He is going for the militia rush. The problem is that Grand Monster is in his base right now, and he's got plenty of food in his base. He's got pigs, he's got boar, and these 2 militia are not going to cut it. However, we do have wood in the middle of the map. We do have boar in the middle of the map here. So Yoshii can get probably up to the next age at probably a pretty decent timing here. I have always wondered if you actually practice the militia rush, as we are going to be seeing the sentry tower get down, what is the fastest time you can pull off the militia rush and get to the next age? Because if you take those 3 villages, it's not like you lose them. They just they just don't gather resources for a hot second. So can you get a 4:30 potentially? Like, I know you can get a 4-minute advance time with good hunt. So can you get a 4:30 is the big question here, as the villagers are going to be making their way up to the top side of the map here. Probably going to try and eat those boar. The militia have missed everything here. So we'll see how it's going to go, as the house coming up over here. Another tower going to get taken down. I wonder if this is just like straight harass, and then he looks like he's going to get a 345, which is pretty nutty if you ask me. Wait, does he have a temple down? Temple on the front as well. So we will be seeing Ares. And then the question here is, does he now get the favor to build a Cyclops out straight away or not? As Yoshii is literally just full of insanity. He's like, nah, I can do whatever I want, and that's just how it's going to be. So you do see these pigs have been spotted. The Kadoskabots are scouting around, looking for something to do. Houses coming up on this position for Yoshii. Doesn't look like Yoshii's going to quite have the resources to get himself Theseus Hippolyta and a stable and a barracks. But we will be seeing that these villagers are pretty boldly hunting over here, which I would have thought that Yoshii probably would have scouted, but not happening just yet, as the militia do spot the Valkyrie moving out. The longhouse going up over here. And Yoshii moving around here with his militia, just conveniently ignoring these villagers here. So the villagers get ready. They're going to be dropping down their buildings. We see a military academy. We see an archery range. Stable? Military academy? military academy. And there's the Pestilence as a random Cyclops going to walk in. Will he pick up the Ulfsark? Yes, he does. That's one Ulfsark pick there. That's big. That Ulfsark going to actually... Oh, big whack onto the enemy Ulfsark there as well, doing a huge amount of damage. So we do see two Hursa going to be making their way over onto this position. Be a bit of a fight here as the Valkyrie getting pushed away by the Theseus. And now the villagers just still happily hunting over here. That's got to be your first port of call for sure if you are Yoshii, as he's starting to make his military units out as well. He's got himself 15 favor in the bank as well. Lots of wood in the bank, so he can make himself that Hippolyta now if he so chooses. As the Valkyrie getting pulled back home as the unit's still pushing in, going to try and take down this longhouse. Two militia are here. I like the way in which Yoshii is sending the Cyclops in to tank the town center, so that the militia and everything else can just sit under here with no real problems here. As the Cyclops has got itself 650 HP, 50% pierce armor, it really just doesn't die very fast at all. So we are seeing the Cyclops retreating away. Might pick up another unit here. Do we see a Cyclops coming out of the temple? I don't know. But we will be seeing this Cyclops falling here. As this Ares rush is kind of getting shut down pretty hard here, I would say. As Toxote might be able to snipe off an Ulfsark here. Very little HP. A couple more units going to be pulled off as we see the Hippolyta coming in to help out. And the Theseus could be enough right now, especially if a Cyclops is on its way. But it looks like Yoshii's pulled off of that favor for the time being. Going after these units instead. The Theseus does whack that Valkyrie there and will get picked off there by the Hippolyta, sniping from afar. And now Grand Monster pulling back into his base does decide to turn around and take this fight. Yoshii still needs to actually deal some real damage to Grand Monster, and he's just been allowing the villagers to eat this hunt up the top side of the map. As we see another archery range getting dropped over here. We see some more houses coming up for Grand Monster, the Longhouse, another Dwarven Armory getting dropped now for Grand Monster as well. Maybe going to be thinking about getting some pierce upgrades or something like this. Makes some sense. As Yoshii going to look to pick off a couple of units. These are all the 4.8 speed units because he doesn't have Oden, he doesn't have Lone Wanderer. So you can get a lot of good value by just grouping your Hippolyta and your Toxotes together when your opponent's like full infantry-based army like this, and just hit and running a little bit. And if he comes out, then you bring your hoplites forward. As Yoshii trying to throw some more buildings up, just mass archery ranges here, it would seem, which seems pretty crazy to be honest, because I'm not sure. I mean, he's got a lot of wood in the bank, I guess, but definitely doesn't have the gold just yet. Only 7 on gold, so that's not enough to really support this many archery ranges, I don't think. The villagers are just like a screen length away from the opposing army here, but just kind of getting away with murder. Now there is a forest fire, so Yoshii does have to be careful here as Grand Monster is pushing forward. I'll look to try and get in onto this position, get some real damage done. But Grand Monster ready to go, and he should think about taking this fight, especially as he sees these units on the forest. There's just so many units here for Grand Monster, and Yoshii going to have to pull all the way back home here. So he does decide to turn around. There's the big forest fire here. Yoshii going to pull back even more as more houses are up. And the big thing here is, if Grand Monster picks all these off, that's going to be a whole bunch of militia for Yoshii. So it makes a lot of sense to actually put these houses on the front, unlike with Norse where it doesn't. We'll see a whole bunch of militia coming in to help out with this fight. A couple of units now getting attacked by the forest fire here, as those militia are going to be a big help in this fight. As the Valkyrie does get taken down here. Those Toxotes are in a really nice little concave in the back. And we do see a Cyclops coming in, but there's so many Hursa here for Grand Monster. I'm not sure exactly if it matters or not, as you got to take down all those Hursa before the Cyclops can really get any serious value. Though picking up that Ulfsark, and if it was to throw it over here, a little bit unlucky there. He could have taken down all of those throwing actions in that fight there, as the Hippolyta is about to get taken down. The Valkyrie is now onto the enemy Cyclops as well, as Yoshii might have to think about retreating back to his home base, giving up this front. 39 population to 71, as Grand Monster's just got I would say a fairly considerable advantage right now. He's finishing up this hunt. He's going to be able to move over to the deer in the corner. There's some berries over here. There's some boar on this location here as well. Yoshii garrisoning units into his archery range now and his military academy. I'm going to think about continuing this fight over here if he can, but having lost that Cyclops seems to be a fairly big issue, as the Valkyrie going to chase down the rest of these units with the help of this medium Ulfsark. And the Hoplite does indeed retreat away, and militia popping out, going to get a little bit of damage done, but without an extra army to boot, it's just going to lose those units. We do see some buildings getting thrown up in the main base for Yoshii. So now if you're still continuing to make hoplites at this point, it's going to be a tough one to hold on, because he's got, what, 1,300 gold left? He is on the second gold mine over here, as we do see a militia getting taken out. The archery range will also go down, but this is a bit of a delay tactic as well for Yoshii in a bit of a way. Graham wants to get himself hand axe, pickaxe, husbandry. You can think about going to the next age fairly soon if he so chooses. As the villagers do finish up the boar here, dropping that into the granary. There's a whole bunch of food over here, but it does look like the villagers making their way over onto the gold mine. Hitting some sort of a heroic age here for Yoshii could be a way to go, but Grand Monster probably pretty close as well, I would say, to getting to the next stage, but he does choose to go for a town center. So this seems to be something that Grand Monster really likes to do, these kind of like weird delayed second town centers in the middle of the classical age instead of going heroic age. That is Grand Monster's style, even if I disagree with it. As we'll see where Grand Monster's going to go now, and Yoshii just going to sit on his food over here, just try and make sure it's a little bit safe. I kind of like that all the buildings were left here by Grand Monster, but I also feel like this is part of the plan in a big way, as Yoshii going to be able to advance fairly soon to the next age. Let's see if his armor up. It's going to be getting thrown up right away. Why are you getting thundering hooves? He's got 0 raiding cavalry. Oh, he's making raiding cavalry now. There you go. Why not? And there's the armory, and we will be seeing that heroic age for Yoshii first. Does he have a temple down? Doesn't look like he does. Definitely need that temple for the Nemean lions here. So now we see Grand Monster moving over onto this position. The Toxotes just getting a couple of chip damage in, but they will get picked off pretty fast if he's not too careful, and it does look like they're going to go down. And Yoshii does manage to click up through Aphrodite, but how much is this curse really going to help here? As we do see a wooden wall getting thrown up on this position. And we'll get denied here. We see another wall over here getting thrown up just to block. And the Toxotes are now a little bit too scary for those throwing axemen. One way in which you can take these fights is just, if you see all the throwing axemen, just don't use your hoplites in the fight. Just use your Toxotes. Keep the hoplites back until the units decide they want to move in and fight. Otherwise, you can kind of be in a bit of a tough spot here. Aphrodite, 56% of the way, or 60% of the way through. Yoshii retreating his villagers back. He just wants to wait as long as he can for that, or hold it as long as he can for that Aphrodite to come in with the curse. Does he have a temple anywhere? I don't see one. No, wait, there's a temple here. So he does have one. That's going to be really, really useful. Some immediate raids here, I would assume. As Yoshii pulls back into his base, is going to turn around, start taking this fight. A curse is going to get immediately dropped here, as it does come through. These villagers retreating away. There's the curse. See ourselves. We see Yoshii here with now 7 pigs, 7 kills there, and the Toxotes is going to have to retreat away as well. As now we do have the Nemean lion. Going to be searching around the map, looking for some hunt. Hasn't found any just yet. He's just kind of walking around aimlessly a little bit, as Grand Monster has to retreat away from this location after that pretty brutal curse. Actually giving himself a chance here in this game, as the village is just out of line of sight there, as Yoshii just has not been able to find the food just yet. Now, Grand Monster with tons of gold in the bank. Decent food. Going to be looking to go to the Mythic Age here, I would assume. This random archery range is going to get taken down fairly quickly here. As Grand Monster wants to push through. He does have himself a random pig over here on this gold mine. There is a trick you can do with the herdables to kind of know if your opponent's gone there or not. And you put the pig into a control group. So you put it into control group 9. And then once you realize the control group is gone, you know that the pig's been taken. And you just consistently can be looking up there and checking that one. Alternatively, you can just see that the pig's gone from your control, but from the map, so you don't see the gold mine anymore. But it's a little trick you can do. I don't know if this is what Grand Monster's doing or not, but it's just an extra thing to give you an extra little reminder of what's happening here. As the straight Nemean Lion will be able to move in and take down a medium raider here. You see these militia getting taken out fairly fast as the Toxotes wandering forward. Yoshii retreating back home for just a little bit here. Couple more units going down, but Nemean Lion here with 225 HP remaining. Still trying to cause a bit of issues. Grand Monster now, he's not going heroic age, but he is getting bronze shield, so he's kind of just going all out. And if he can, I mean, if Yoshii can just defend here, he should be okay. But seems like Grand Monster has just got a little bit too much economy here. With the 68 villagers to 39 though, so that's a bit of a problem right now. As I mean, the village is currently over on this location. Everyone there. We see the throwing axemen scouting around in this bottom corner. Osberg Wagon actually over here as well. As the units marching up to the top side of the map here. That Nemean Lion is getting chased all the way back as Grand Monster is just happily eating all 4 boar at the same time using his pig sticker. As the raiding cavalry do spot this gold mine here, Yoshii going to be retreating away. As Grand Monster just about to click up to the next age. Clearly, Yoshii wants to advance Mythic Age here. He's trying his darndest. As the Toxotes move in, the Nemean Lion down to 27 HP. So his Toxotes should be targeting down the Hersa first to keep the Nemean Lion alive. But for Norse, it doesn't really matter. It's not for Norse. For Greek, it doesn't really matter because you don't have... Unless you have a Polo, you can't heal that bad boy back up. And we'll be seeing Grand Monster getting a 3rd town center here as the scouting is continuing. But now the tough part for Yoshii is going to be how does he avoid frost on his villages and on his army, which is always the big question that you have to answer. You never want to give your opponent that ultimate value with frost, which is like 20 villagers being frosted, and it's like an army of 30 being frosted. That would be max value frost. So we'll see what Yoshii's got in store for us here. Does he have a market up yet? I don't see his market anywhere. Seems like he's still training units. But clearly, like, this is kind of the game plan for Poseidon in this matchup. At any rate, is to get Mythic Age to Earthquake and then find value with your Chimera. As there's the mark coming down now for Yoshii. And the temple gets taken out though, so Yoshii will have to rebuild his temple to get his free Chimera. But there are going to be Frost Giants to defend here, as we just see the house getting taken down. It's doing a little bit of damage there to Yoshii's economy. Walls getting dropped on this location here. So you see a house getting dropped over here as well. But Artemis on the way, Winter Harvest, copper weapons, shaft mine, irrigation, iron shields, heavy infantry, everything's coming through for Grand Monster right now. He's just happily getting all of his upgrades. Yoshii has to retreat back home. The raiding cavalry pushing forward. See some dead Toxotes here. And did we see a temple get thrown up anywhere? Oh, no. Oh, there it is. Temple getting rushed up. 55% of the way there as the units just coming in onto the main base here for Grand Monster as he's just marching in. He does have 3 town centers right now, going up to 4 town centers very shortly. A marker getting thrown up in this corner as well. Villagers over in the berries in the top corner of the map. And so raiding cavalry are able to just happily sit underneath this town center. Right now they've got raiding cavalry at 47% pierce armor. We've got throwing action at, mind you, only 27% pierce armor, but still pretty strong for a throwing axeman. And even 1 chimera is not going to be enough here to, even if it gets like 30 villager kills, you're still going to be in front on the villager count. As we do see that mythic age does come through as Grand Monster's just happily hanging out here. Big earthquake in the main base here for Yoshii, but he doesn't even kill the town center. He does pick off a whole bunch of houses as Grand Monster's population kind of drops to 139 to 55. But Grand Monster just shows how confident he is in this game. He's just going to be dropping houses in his opponent's base. Why not? Why not? Do see the Frost Giant here is getting taken down. Yoshi's at 2,500 score, 1,500 behind Yoshii, as we do have Olsak getting trained out onto this gold mine right now. Where's the Chimera? The Chimera is going after villagers. There's no temple back here for Grand Monster to send his Frost Giants there. Well, like, Grand Monster shouldn't care. He's got 1,700 gold in the bank. Like, he can do whatever he wants here. And in that moment there, Yoshii does decide to tap out. The militia rush makes its appearance in a tournament here. Funnily enough, I really think that this map with the forward, like if you actually attack the top location here, an areas rush would have been a really strong choice here. Just going up really fast. There was enough boar in your home base to do a 4-minute advance time. You got Poseidon anyway, so you can kind of do a 4-minute advance time on any map if there's hunt on the map. But Yoshii kind of goes for the craziness. A little bit too slow on the rush, and he's just too far behind for the rest of the game, it would seem. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. We've got a game number 5 coming in. And if you're on the YouTubes, come and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any games. And I'll see you guys in the next game.